Hello and welcome to the program. Today on Busting the Narrative, we're going to talk about age. Now, what does age mean to you? For some people, it's just a number. For others, it is something that shall not weary them. And for people in Melbourne, it is just an unreadable lefty newspaper. But for Joe Biden and his supporters, well, age, it's a problem, a big one. So let's see how they're trying to get around it as we go busting the narrative. You know, it's hard to believe watching Joe Biden stumble and stutter his way through public life that he was once a charming, articulate speaker who made a lot of sense.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off." Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate.
Sadly, though, well, let's just say he's not so sharp anymore.
Watch me. If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway. From Charlotte. Another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. Of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put the idea that Los Angeles and what am I doing here?
And indeed, growing numbers of Americans think that Joe Biden's age is a problem. Even the Washington Post is starting to notice this fact. Aaron Blake took in a wide variety of polls and came to this conclusion, quote, "There is a large universe of people who not only think Biden is too old, but, relatedly, that his mental acuity is actually an impediment to his service as president." When those saying these things include 7 in 10 independents and 2/3 of your own base, i.e. Democrats, the people most likely to view you in the most positive light and give you the benefit of the doubt, it's something that must be reckoned with, he said. Here's White House spokesman Karine Jean-Pierre doing what she does best, deflecting the question, but you can tell it has her rattled.
Why do you think it is that in a Wall Street Journal poll, 2/3 of Democrats think President Biden is too old to run again?
Look, here's what I know. Here's what I can speak to. I can speak to that a president who has wisdom. I can speak to a president who has experience. I can speak to a president who has done has taken historic action and has delivered in historic pieces of legislation.
This, of course, leaves Democrats with a couple of choices. Do they ditch Biden, as I've long argued they will, perhaps as late as the convention next year, as the man's mental and moral infirmities catch up with him? Or do they dig in? Well, that's the plan for some, at least the strategists on The View.
Wall Street Journal poll that came out, 73% of Americans are worried that he is too old to be president again. And he is, going to be the Democratic nominee.
But true, I don't mean to interrupt you, but isn't it true that Fox and all those right-wing stations keep showing pictures of him tripping, or the way people trip?
Yeah, but 73% of Americans, that's just not Fox
Trump
News.
Is 77.
That's a lot of Democrats.
And he's overweight, and he's in terrible shape. And he's only 3 years younger than Biden.
Well, and I think both is an issue. The biggest voting bloc going into this election will be Gen Zers and millennials, and our generation feels underrepresented by two, frankly, people, octogenarians or soon to be running to run the country.
Look, I've never understood why people focus so much on Joe Biden's age. He is in very good physical shape. He exercises regularly. He actually eats a vegetable or two on a daily basis, he is in far better shape because I've actually eaten with him.
Did you get that? The man eats a vegetable or two, and it's all Fox News' fault anyway. If they go with this strategy, I'll tell you what, Donald Trump will be dancing the YMCA at inaugural balls across Washington come January 2025. Thank you so much for watching this program. I'm James Morrow, and you're watching Busting the Narrative. To support this program, like it and share it below. Bye-bye.